what do you do with disputes? And disputes are an interesting animal. Okay, so disputes on a credit bureau is a way for a consumer to challenge what is recorded on the report. And this happens a lot because the credit reporting is not very accurate. And it's a useful way to challenge incorrect reporting or inaccurate information on your credit report. And after disputing information, the credit reporting agency has 30 days to investigate if your dispute is valid or not. If they find that there's no substantiation of the disputed claim, the dispute language generally just stays on the report. They call back and say, you know what, we checked it out and you do owe that money. And you go, well, you do. So what has happened over the course of the last 5 or 6 years, disputes are unusual because what disputes do is they kind of cover, if you will, or they make the creditor's information invisible to the scoring algorithm. So there was a time when it was a great idea to dispute everything, and what happened is when you disputed something, your credit score would go up because it would take the impact of whatever negative reporting was done by a particular credit line, and it would take it away. And I mean, for years, we just disputed everything. It's a common credit restoration process. And of course, they've got to do that to get something knocked off your credit, and they would just wear them out, continue. You know, there's a lot of steps that credit restoration takes to get credit off, wear the creditors out in most cases. But what we found is, or the underwriters were awakened to the fact that when the dispute comes off, if you take a dispute off, which they require these days, then the effect of that negative reporting comes back into the credit score. So when you take a dispute off, particularly if it's not at least 2 years old, or not the dispute 2 year old, but if the credit line, the date of last activity is not at least 2 years old, then it can negatively affect your score. I mean, if you had an example is, let's see on this one here, I may have gone back. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Charge-offs. No, I don't want to see that. Okay, this is the one I was looking for. So in this particular report, and I don't know if you can see this, but it shows here that the last late payment that they had was October of 2016. Okay, if there was a dispute on that one, and the score would go up because the dispute would mask this particular report from this creditor, and you know, it would be a good thing. And while they're doing the investigation, you get the benefit of the positive report. Now they come back and they say, well, you know what, the dispute is not valid. The credit is owed, and so and we're going through underwriting and we say, okay, well, we have to have that dispute removed because we do. Then when we took that dispute off and the borrower goes to the creditor and say, look, I need to get that dispute off, I no longer dispute it, it would cause the score to go down dramatically because this is a fairly recent debt. Their late payment is, you know, within the last 5 months, 5 or 6 months. So if it's 2 years or older when the last time that was reported, and there's a thing on here, I don't know if you can read it. Right here, there's again on the video or on here, it says DLA. DLA. Let me see if I can. No, I don't know what that's doing. Okay. Oh wait, here we go. Well, here. Okay, it does say DLA is date of last activity. There's a couple things here. Date opened 5/15. The next line underneath that, which in this particular case is blank, is date of last activity, and then the date reported. Well, these are critical, important dates because that tells you how old the last time it was reported. And if it was over 2 years ago, then I don't worry too much about taking a dispute off. If it was recently, like in this particular case where it's 6 months, if there was a dispute on that account, it would negatively affect the credit score when that dispute was removed. So that may be way more information than what you wanted, but I thought that was important. So really, that is kind of the culmination. How did we do on time? Well, not bad. 28 minutes, a lot of information. The